What's up guys, Chef Q here, and today it's looking a little bit gloomy. Looks like it's gonna rain for a few days, and whenever it rains, besides pho, our family, we usually craves for Bánh Xèo. I don't know why, maybe it's just our family, or you know, if there's any other Vietnamese family out there that craves Bánh Xèo during rainy days. Let me know in the comments. But I guess traditionally where it started is from my mom. She would always tell me,
hồi xưa mỗi lần mà mưa là ba mày cứ nói tao đút bánh xèo cho ổng ăn hoài à.
Well, you heard her. So we are cooking up some Bánh Xèo, or English is Vietnamese Crepe. I say this dish is pretty easy, so let's get cooking, all right? Okay, for Bánh Xèo, the most important thing is the batter. And the second most is actually the dipping sauce, which is the nước mắm. Now the fish sauce recipe, I've already made a recipe on that, so I'm gonna link that somewhere up there. So if you don't have a pre-mixed Bánh Xèo package like this one, then you can just mix 3 parts rice flour, 2 parts wheat flour, and 1 part cornstarch, or corn flour, I guess. And I say about 2 to 3 teaspoons of turmeric powder. Of course, a little pinch of salt. So even with this pre-mixed batter, I think it's still missing an ingredient, which is cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to make it more crispy. I've actually tried using beer instead of water to do the mixture, but it didn't turn out as crispy as I wanted. Well, enough talking and let's get mixing, all right?
So in this recipe, I'm using 2 packages of pre-mixed Bánh Xèo flour. And with that, add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of turmeric powder. Add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch flour. 1 tablespoon of salt. Give it a good mix. And then we'll add in 4 cups of water. Or you can use beer to make beer batter. Mix well until there's no clumps left. And then add in 2 cans of coconut milk. And then add in your thinly sliced green onions, or you can also use chives instead. Cover it and leave in fridge overnight and let the flour rise. Next, you can prep all the condiments. Here I'm using shrimps. You don't have to marinate the shrimp, but here I marinated with a little bit of salt, some chicken granulated seasoning, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper, and give it a good mix. In a pot of water, add in a little bit of salt, some garlic, a few pieces of ginger, throw in your pork belly, and we'll blanch it for about 10 to 15 minutes. Next, slice your pork belly into thin pieces. Also prep all other condiments like onions, sprouts, mushrooms if you like, and other lettuce, mint, green mustard.
Alright, so we are all set up to cook our Bánh Xèo outside. Now a bit of warning, if you guys are health conscious and you don't want a lot of grease, please don't eat Bánh Xèo, because Bánh Xèo is very greasy. And without that pork fat, you're not going to get that crispiness that you should have in the Bánh Xèo. Might as well just go eat a salad, alright? So if you're going to make Bánh Xèo, don't ease up on the pork belly, alright? Alright, let's get cooking. Ah, nice and high. So this pan is already seasoned. So usually the first and second Bánh Xèo will not turn out too good because it's gonna be burnt. It's gonna take 1 or 2 Bánh Xèo to actually even up the heat of your pan. So if you see a little bit burnt, don't fret about it, okay? So this is the batter consistency that you want. I'm not sure if you can see it well on there, but it shouldn't be too light and shouldn't be too thick. If you want it more crispy, you have to add a lot of oil. And just make sure that it's a non-stick pan. Next comes our semi-cooked pork belly. Put a few pieces. And be careful, it's going to pop. Woo. Then a couple of our shrimp. And then goes our batter. Make sure to mix it up real well. You hold this up. So put it in a circular motion like this. There we go. You hear the sound? It goes xèo. That's how it gets named. Bánh xèo. And then, if you want to put an egg in, you can crack an egg in. This is optional. 1 egg. Put in your bean sprouts. Then some of your white onions. Then we'll cover it. I'd say for about 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes, depending on how high your heat is. Okay, that looks about good. That's about 1 minute. Ah, there we go. Our egg is cooked. Ooh, unless you want it more well done, then you can leave it a little bit. So after you take the lid off, make sure you still leave it out for another, I'd say about a minute or so. Make sure the edges are off, non-sticky. Free this from the pan. There we go. See that? You see the bánh xèo move around like that? That's good. There we go. Ah, wow. I cracked the yolk though. That looks good. This is how I like my yolk, but if you want it well done, you can leave the lid on longer. So if you really want it to be crispy, right after you take the lid off, you need to leave the lid off and let it be on the fire for, I say, another minute or two. Okay. Woo. If you have a spatula, great. If not, this should do. Woo. Wow. Check that out. It's best if you have a rack like this. So you throw this on the rack like this. Otherwise, if you throw it on the plate right away, the heat on the bottom and the plate is going to make this soggy. You don't want this to be soggy. So we'll leave this outside a little bit. And then we're gonna make a couple more, just like it. But like I said, it's not going to be good until, say, the third one or so. Now when you're cooking this, usually in Vietnam at like a restaurant or something, they will have like 5, 6, or even 10 pan going at the same time cooking bánh xèo, you know. So once they're done with this, they move on, you know. So they keep on rotating, so bánh xèo keep on coming out. But this, I'm not too pro at it. So I'm going to start off with 1 pan just to show you guys. Now bánh xèo is good eaten right away. That's why when I go to Vietnam shop in Vietnam to eat bánh xèo, we would just sit down, order, you know, 1 or 2 bánh xèo, 3, whatever, and they just keep on making it, and we eat as we go. Because if you leave bánh xèo out for a long time, it's going to get soggy, okay? Yeah, it's crispy, but it cannot stay crispy like a few hours. Well, check this out. This one is a nice crust. Wow, there we go. See, this is our second bánh xèo. The second bánh xèo is very crispy and golden. Now that we got the pan all evenly hot. There we go. I think the trickiest part is actually flipping the bánh xèo over to this thing. Oh shit! There we go. Wow. Oh shit! I almost dropped it. Be careful. I almost dropped this shit. I'm gonna turn it off. We made 2 bánh xèo, and then I am going to taste this, all right? Because I don't want to make it and leave it there for a while. I still have to set up the camera to eat this. So let's hurry. Let's hurry. Okay, it's time to eat. Wow. See, this dish you have to cook outside. If you make this inside the house, make sure you shut all of your bedroom doors and your closets, because this is a very oily dish. So when you make this, the smell of the oil is going to stay in your house for a couple days, 2 to 3 days actually. And if your house have a carpet or a fabric couch, woo, yeah, it's going to stink like oil for a few days. So it's best to cook this outside of your house. And right after you eat this, you should actually go shower, because yeah, you smell like oil right now. Anyways, let's try our bánh xèo. Wow. Wow, look how nice this is. So you want the outside to be crispy, of course, golden, okay, and extra crunchy. Let's try this piece right here. I hope you can hear this on camera, or I got a mic here. Let's hope this mic picks it up. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that pork belly is like bacon right now. Crispy bacon with the batter and that turmeric. Ooh. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I don't know about the regions, but in my family, which is Miền Trung, maybe Miền Trung, Miền Nam, which is the mid Vietnam and the southern part of Vietnam, we eat bánh xèo with mustard greens instead of lettuce. You can also use lettuce if you want. Some even use rice paper to roll everything up and dip. That's fine too, but today I am going to use mustard greens and of course our Vietnamese mint. These are purple oba leaves and some mints and stuff. And of course our daikon, pickled daikon and carrots. And I have a recipe for this somewhere up there, okay? Pretty easy to make. Okay, now let's eat our bánh xèo. Okay, we'll get this part. Oh yeah, forgot there's the egg in here too. Careful not to pop the egg. Got this egg here, still yolk. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna pop this egg out. Bam! Wow. Yeah. This is just perfect. It's not too runny. So then we can actually roll this up. Okay. Wow, okay. Let's dip this in. Look at that. Now, half of what makes a good bánh xèo is also the fish sauce. Now, this fish sauce, I've already showed you the recipe for it, so check out the link. I'm not sure if you can hear the crispiness of it. Everything is in this bite. You got that eggy egg yolk that comes out, and of course the bánh xèo batter is basically just batter, right? But how you make it, how to make it like crispy on the bottom, but still soft and a little bit chewy on the inside. A good bánh xèo is crispy on the outside, puffy on the inside, and a little bit chewy. And then, see how it still hangs on and does it doesn't break off like a chip, you know? It doesn't break off like a Doritos or a cracker. Look at that. Still chewy. Still got that texture, crispy texture on the outside. Oh. See, the thing about making this YouTube video, after I make it, I have to set up all the cameras and stuff. And by the time I eat this, it's not as hot as I want it to be, like steaming hot, right? So a little bit cold now, but it's still crispy, right? Shows you how good it is. I think the Miền Trung, which is where I came from Nha Trang, where my family is. So they actually put like squid and all these other seafood in there. I think calamari or squid. But there's a special way to do it. You're supposed to cook that first. Otherwise, the juice of the calamari or the squid would come out and it would soak up the batter. Or it would actually wet the batter, and so it won't be crispy. So when I was small, I think they made bánh xèo out of a clay pot. It's not Bangkok, but it's a little bigger like this. Well, actually it's smaller, a lot smaller than this one, but it's about this. And it was like the best bánh xèo I had in my life. But this is still good though. This is still really good. Yeah. Yeah. The key point to making the bánh xèo chewy and crispy at the same time, you have to leave the batter overnight. Let it soak, let the batter rise. That's how you get the crispy and chewy texture. So I did try to make it just by soaking it 2 to 3 hours, and I started making this video. Yeah, it didn't turn out too well. So this is actually my 3rd time making bánh xèo. The first time it was really good, right? And then I mixed up another batch, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna shoot it in like 2 or 3 hours later. And then later on, it didn't turn out too good. So this is my 3rd time making bánh xèo. First time was good, second time was not. This time was the best, actually. So as I eat this, I get lazy, and then I would just throw it all in a bowl, pour in the fish sauce, and just chow down on it. Alright guys, so I hope you guys can make the best bánh xèo at home following my recipe. You can check out my recipe blog in the description below, and also all my social media links on the bottom too, if you want to follow me on there. So if you find value in this video, make sure you like the video and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Alright guys, I am going to have to finish this, and also I have a bunch more batter to make, so better start eating and get to it.
Bánh xèo rồi bây giờ mà hết đốt bánh xèo thì là bây giờ tối mà trời mưa bán hàng mà hết mưa cũng đốt.
Hết mưa rồi.
Nhớ từ mưa là nhớ là ba nhớ.
Giờ hơi ấy chết chà khét. Để đúng cái đã vậy. Ra sao?
Ngon.
Cho số 1 coi, cho số 1 coi. Số 1. Okay. Very good.